Greetings, everybody. Coming to you from the garden. I am still working on getting the greenhouse in a position to where I feel that it will serve me this fall and to serve the garden, to serve the farm this fall. And I just wanted to just share something with you. I had a question that was asked me today. One of my sis from my sisterhood investment group asked me how big was my farm, and I quickly went to, I'm gonna say, the pauper's mindset, or speaking on those things as it is right now, and not what God has already showed me that will be. And I said, I have a backyard farm. I said, oh, no. I said, oh, I just have a backyard garden. And then I quickly recanted that, because I know that you got to be very careful what you speak in the atmosphere, because your words bring life or your words bring death. And I know that the enemy, even if you don't intend it to be that way, he will take something that you said as it hit the atmosphere and cause it to be that or even worse. So I quickly said, no, I have a farm. It's on its way. I have acres. And then I decreed a number. And they were like, yeah, yeah. And then they was in agreement. And I love the fact that where two or more gather together in God's name, there he is in the midst. And he that decree a thing will be so. And to have them to stand in agreement with me with that vision that the Lord has given me, it truly blessed my spirit. But that's not neither here nor there. What's said in my spirit as I was digging this hole right here, I thought about David. I'm going to sit down on this one. I thought about David. And when he was anointed to be king, he was an old shepherd boy. He was brewing. He was the youngest. He was the roughest. He came from the field. He wasn't the child that was in the house. He was the child that was left in the field. We know why, by his mama, right? But he was left in the field to tend to the lions, the tigers, the bears. Oh my. He tended to the sheep. He made sure they was okay. He protected them. And when the prophet came and asked where the sons were, because the Lord sent them to anoint the next king. And when the father started calling out the sons, the prophet said, no, that's not him. That's not the one. Do you have any other sons? And he said, oh yeah, I got one more out in the field. Go get him. So David came, and he was all dirty. He was all not made up, because he was in the field. He was working. And he was anointed, right? And later on, the prophet left, went to his next mission or the next town, and David went back into the field working. And I thought about that in the season that I am in now. You don't worry about or be concerned with the promises that God has given to you about your life, your situation, your circumstances. Because if he gave you the vision, he will bring it to pass. Just make sure that you keep your hands to the plow. You make sure that you keep working. You make sure you stay on path. You stay on focus. Do not sway to the left nor to the right. Don't look to the back. Don't be like Lot's wife and turn into a pillar of salt. Stay focused. Stay focused. I remember about 6 months before my mother had passed, maybe at 9 months. It was within the same year. My mother had gave me this sweater. And the sweater had many colors on it. And I had wore it to work. At the time, I was working at another company. And when I walked in and I was wearing the sweater, one of the gentlemen on my team, he said, "Oh, the coat of many colors." He said, "So you were chosen." And I didn't think about it as much until after when my mother passed. And in both of those stories, with both of those sons, you sometimes appear to be the one that's least considered. You may be the one who appear to the masses as if you don't have anything um, to offer per se. David was in the field. He was rugged. He was rough on the. He was coming up on the rough side of the mountain. He wasn't. He wasn't made for the palace, or appeared to look like he was made for the palace. And the same way with Joseph. But with Joseph, the difference was he had a dream, and God told him that you were going to rule over your brothers. You got to be very careful who you share your vision with. When David went out to go fight Goliath, and I know I'm jumping between two biblical stories, go read them and go read the whole full story in the Bible. When he went to go get ready to go out to fight to fight Goliath, David asked Saul, King Saul, "If I win, what I get? What is the reward for me fighting this Philistine that you and your whole army is afraid of? What will I get for defeating that giant?" It's okay to ask. And I was seeing a sermon about that, and it just made me think. It's okay to ask and to request and to put your demands out there. That's why God say, "Ask and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open." It's okay to ask. So going into 2026, between now and the beginning of 2026, as you writing your vision, or you revamping your vision, or you revisualizing your vision, make sure that you make it pristine and very clear. Not only your expectations of God, but what is your expectations of man. Make sure that you are not unequally yoked in this year to come. Make sure that your visions align. And if they are not, you need to reconsider some of these relationships, because I have definitely done my share of revisiting relationships and friendships. And that doesn't mean that there was any disagreement. It doesn't mean that you didn't get along. It didn't mean any of that. It's just that in this season, and as I say, for the rest of my life, I don't have the time, the space, nor the capacity within this to continue to go around the block, because we can't move forward together. You build your dream, I can build my dream. We can build a community, we can build a city, we can build a state, we can build an empire, we can build simultaneously together. But trying to be connected with you, and I feel like I'm doing this, that's not what God said for you, and that's not what God said for me. We must press forward. You must press forward. And things need to start being accomplished. There's no more figuring anything out. So as I fight to get back up, because I sat down because this was going to be comfortable, forgetting about this knee that is 50 plus. So I'm going to get up. Hopefully I won't struggle. But if I do, it's okay, because I'm going to make it. And I'm going to finish digging this little trench and covering it back up so that I could put this shelf and continue to establish my seedlings and continue to plant more seeds for the garden and for my life. You all have a blessed and amazing day. a blessed and amazing day.